So as we're talking about clients and their style and what they want, for those that have zero clue, they just know they want it to look better than it is.
It's hard.
I can't even imagine how, how that would go.
We're miracle workers.
Yeah, really. Yeah, absolutely. Let's talk about design rules. What's the most important one?
It's like so hard. We like don't really have any. I don't know.
I actually
I'm just like,
hate
just make it look
rules.
good.
Yeah. Like I just feel like, because every designer is different, you know, everybody has different tastes and different styles. So I don't really know if there are like general rules that everyone needs to live by. I really do believe that it's like, what are you drawn to? What makes you happy? How do you want the space to feel? And then we help you achieve that.
Mm-hmm. I mean, we say that, but then like Erin and I will come into a project and we will be like, no, you can't do that. Like we definitely still say that, you know,
but that's just our own opinions.
But some of it I think is a lot with scale. So, and that's something that's like hard to express, but we just see it. Like when we know, we see it and we'll change it. But for example, I think a lot of people do rugs that are too small. And they like don't fill the space enough, but they are cheap and they just think that it's fine. So I would say like just things to be aware of more so than rules, or to make sure that your furniture is to the scale of your space. Make sure that you have the ability to like walk around your furniture and you're not just like
there's
stuffing
rules,
it.
but they're just rules that we live by.
They're just like in our head, but they're hard. I think they're more so just like tips.
Or like something alive. Like we're always like trying to get our designers like what we need a tree in here, or
Every
we need
room
a
needs
plant.
a plant.
Yeah, like every room has to have something alive in it. It just it brings the room to life. Otherwise it feels a little bit more flat. So we always do that.
Also when people we can do a whole podcast about design tips, but like when you put a dresser out and people just start putting like accessory in a row, then nothing's elevated. Like everything should be at a different height. So think about that. We use coffee table books all the time. We'll so that we can get some, if there's like a really big gap between things, we'll use that to elevate it and close the gap a little bit. There's always like little things.
Yeah. Or I think a big one too is a lot of people are scared to mix metals and finishes. And they're like, if I have a gold faucet, that means everything in my house, every light fixture, all the hardware has to be brass, which is not true. You know, like I think
it's actually the opposite. Like,
I agree.
We feel like mixing finishes makes a home feel more well-designed and more curated and more storied.
Yeah.
And also like be okay to have some empty spaces and curate those spaces as you go.
Yeah.
Because I think people often feel uneasy if they move into their home and there's like an empty wall, but like you never know what piece you might find down the road to fill that gap.
Yeah. So maybe be more intentional. Is that fair?
That's a good way to summarize it all. Yeah.
Okay. You talked a little bit about this, but form versus function. What does that look like for what you do for your clients?
I mean, that's a hard line to balance, because there's a lot of things that we would prefer to do that are very beautiful, but may not be functional, for that client's lifestyle. So I do think it goes back to the beginning research of a project. We try and do a ton of research on the client. We have them do questionnaires. We do style research. We have them put together Pinterest boards, and the more research we can do up front, we feel like the less revisions we have to do down the road. So I think that the client research is most important.
Understanding how they want to live. And also, we talked about this, but Erin and I both have children, and we also feel it's very important that we love our homes and that they're beautiful. I have a white couch and it doesn't always look great. I think you have to kind of let go of some of the pristine, like guidelines that you're holding yourself to when you want to have a beautiful house, like the form and the function. There has to be some give with both of those, like Erin has beautiful floors. Sometimes they bother her because they'll like show things but they're so pretty, and so you just have to be okay with some of the imperfections as well if you want to make it work.
Yeah. So again, going a little bit back to budget. I mean, you mentioned tariffs, right? Or increasing. I mean, everything's more expensive, right? Yeah. Everything is. So let's say you've got a client who, really does not have the ability to go in and spend tens of thousands of dollars, but they want to make their house feel more like a home. How do you do that on maybe a very limited budget? What would you suggest?
That's a good question.
Yeah, I would say being able to keep the resources broad definitely helps. And so those resources don't have to be expensive, but they just have to be varied in a way so that, get on Etsy and find a piece of artwork. I get lots of great stuff at TJ Maxx sometimes, I think like being able to do that, but then bringing in some splurge items that people will walk into your house and be like, I have never seen that. Where is that from? Really goes a long way.
Yeah. And I think that was one of the main reasons why we started House of Jade Home, was because we do want to be able to have our design resources, like reach out to multiple people, on whatever scale or whatever time of life they're in. And so we have this place that people can go and have a variety of curated objects or special pieces that they can bring in.
Chosen by a designer.
Right. Yeah. But even if it's just one piece, it feels special. It feels, curated, and they can bring that into their home just to like elevate the space that much more.
Yeah.
And I think too that the curating or being intentional doesn't have to be expensive. It can still be cost effective. I just think it's may just take a little bit more time.
Yeah, that's fair. So we've talked a little bit about, as you both have evolved as designers and business owners, obviously the landscape of what you do has evolved too. Let's talk a little bit about tech. And I mean, years ago, Instagram wasn't around, Pinterest wasn't around. Now we have AI. What are your thoughts? If you could look into the future, what are you predicting for interior design, and how maybe has AI and some of these technologies influenced the decisions you make as both designers and business owners?
Yeah. I mean, I think we're just kind of barely beginning to see the effect of things like that. I mean, softwares alone, like when we started, we didn't even have any type of software. Like it was like all on paper. Like, I don't even know how we did it.
It's just like dinosaurs. We were just like hand sketching. I do think that we've noticed now the expectation is that people need to see it in 3D, right? Because you can get on the internet and see that really fast.
Yeah.
And so we pivoted actually this last year and completely changed our software so that now everything can be in 3D and rendered in 3D. And so I feel like for a design firm where everything is visual, you have to think about how are people viewing their designs and how can we offer that? So that was one thing that we had to quickly do. And I'm sure there'll be more, but I think for us, being able to have people see a design concept and make it as real as possible is really vital.
Yeah, I think that something that is hard about this AI theme is that a lot of AI pictures are so unrealistic, even in the design world. Like you can look at an AI picture and be like, actually, you can't put a bed right there.
Like it's not structurally sound.
Yeah. There's lots of things that we've noticed in pictures with windows or whatever that are not realistic, and clients will come to us and be like, I want this space. And we're like, well, actually, that's not even real. Like you can't have that. So I think that that's also something that we've been trying to, work on is like, these AI pictures and how we can use them for our benefit, but then also
make sure, like manage the expectations.
Manage the expectations of clients about what they look like.
Yeah.
I love that. So as we're talking about clients and their style and what they want, how do you help someone find their style? Because do you feel like every client comes in and they're like, I want this. This is what I want it to look like. Maybe some do. But for those that have zero clue, they just know they want it to look better than it is.
Yeah. I think a lot of clients actually don't even know when they're saying traditional or they're saying mid-century or whatever it is. They actually don't really know what that word means.
Sure.
So I think that there's a lot of education. I mean, we help them sometimes. Not all clients have a clear vision on what they want. So it kind of goes into that style research.
Yeah. So what we'll do often is we ask for a link to their Pinterest board or their house board or wherever they are housing all of their inspiration pictures. Okay. And then we'll help them go through and say, I see that you like this room, but why do you like it? Is it the vibe that you feel when you look at it? Is it like a specific color that's in the picture? Because I think people just pin things and they don't really know. And so we help them dissect the pictures. And I think that helps us to understand, okay, so you liked this picture, but you actually hate half of the things in it. And then when we're making the decisions for their home, we have a much clearer vision of the specific things that they want. I think the real challenge is when we have spouses that come in with completely different styles. And that is actually one of the hardest parts of our job.
Sometimes I'm like, we're part marriage counselors because we manage their money and we're managing their style, what the home looks like that they're going to live in together.
And they have very different ideas of what they're wanting. And there has to be some give and take, because what we don't want to do is design half of your home modern and half of it traditional. And there's like a line down the middle. So we do have to do a lot of blending and helping people to kind of come together on that. It's hard.
I can't even imagine how, how that would go.
We're miracle workers.
Really.
Yeah, absolutely. If you could define it, what does a successful project look like?
I mean, I would probably say a successful project is one where we go into it with a clear vision of what the client wants and the construction goes smoothly.
Good contractor.
Yeah, work with a good contractor. And in the end, the client is happy.
Yeah.
And proud. Like, I love it when they're just like so proud and they're bringing people over and showing them. And also like when we're proud, like we're excited about the project too, because they've trusted us and it's a collaborative process. And honestly, just working with nice people really is the best. Just people who are gracious and kind. And I would say that's probably how it works in any business.
I think understanding too, like the construction process is muddy and messy, and there will always be issues, like always. Nothing ever goes perfectly, but I think it's the way that clients accept the issues and are willing to work through them. I think that's when it becomes like an ideal situation.
Yeah, I love that. So you mentioned before, every design project has a budget, even if the budget is 10 million, but I'm going to have you imagine there's no budget.
Okay.
The client doesn't care. They want you to come in and do whatever you want to do. Erin,
so fun.
this is individual for each of you, because assuming maybe you do things a little differently. Erin, what does that space look like for you?
I mean,
or is that
honestly,
just too
I would
unrealistic?
probably live. It would be a house I'd be designing for myself, right?
Yeah,
if I was designing exactly what I wanted, I'm going to want to live in that house.
Yeah.
So pretty much, it would be I'm the client. But I mean, I feel like I'm really influenced by like country French farmhouse right now, something European. So
she would move to France is basically what she's saying. Yeah. I think Erin, like anything that has some nod to the country, I think would be for sure would be what she would want.
Lots of texture, layers, so many details. Yeah. All the things.
I mean, I feel like I'm similar too. I think that we're very influenced by where we travel to, and so. Like we both just did an amazing South of France trip last year, and we just came home being like, how can we make it look like we live in France? Like that's just like what we wanted, because we were so influenced by it. And obviously that's always changing. But I just think honestly, we want something that feels collected. And like Erin said, like you turn a corner and you're like, what is that detail I've never seen? Like so many architectural details, like all the little things, those are the things that we get excited about. Like just walking into a big blank shell that just feels kind of sterile is not what lights us up. So I think,
it's like creating the story, like where has these owners lived? Where have they traveled? What do they love to do? I think that creating the story in all your spaces is like how you make it feel rich and curated and cozy. And so I think that that's, any project like that is an ideal project.
Yeah. Tell me more about the details. When you say, it's about the details, what do you mean?
So everyone has like a cased opening in their house. That's just like the opening that goes into another room.
Yeah.
But you can do that so many different ways. So is it wood? Is it like this beautiful millwork detail? Is it small? Is it wide? Is it deep? Like all of those things are to be considered. Like that would be a detail. Or like your light switches. Are those unique? Your vents, like all of these things, and sometimes not with much extra cost, can be thought about. All like your doorknobs, all these little tiny things.
In cabinetry, there's a million things you can do, to make it look more detailed and thought out and special. And I think that in our world right now, there's so much production building going on because there's just like a housing shortage, there's just like busting out these homes. And I mean, they're fine, but a lot of the details are left out. And I think that that's what makes like a home feel special.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Yeah. Both Erin and I built homes that were kind of just like, we're going to build what we can right now, but know that we're going to add. And we've added a lot over the years,
It's definitely something that you can keep on adding to.
We've added stone and we've added, like I said, like some beautiful cased openings. We've added beams. Like they're all these things that we're just adding in so that when you walk into it, you're not like, oh, I can tell this home was built at this era. Yeah. And I know exactly who the builder was. Like we try and make it more ours than what it was when we first built.
Yeah, I love that. Let's talk a little bit about your products because you have a whole website full of products that I imagine are curated, right? And put together. What does that process look like? And I mean, how do you even go about that? I mean, you got to source all these things, all of it. Just tell us everything.
It's a whole separate business.
Yeah, it is. I guess we'll do another podcast about that. So all of the products are curated by us.
Okay.
Just us.
The two of you.
Yep. And we go to markets. We go to several markets and we see what's out there. But a lot of it is, would we put this in our homes? And Erin and I are different and our homes are different. And so sometimes there'll be something that I wouldn't put in my house, but she would, or vice versa. And that's okay too. And so, and everything we think about it as, what's the story here? So we just launched our first summer collection and we were just like, okay, we're doing a big summer barbecue. What do we need? What do we want it to look like? What are the colors we want there? And that's how we really go into every collection is, what's the story? How does this, how would we use this item? How would it be styled in our homes? And most of the photo shoots are in our homes. So it feels like very personal and it is very fun. And we get all the items and we just want to buy all of them ourselves because we love them that much. But that's the goal. Like we want to like the items enough to put them in our own homes.
I love that. Holidays. You mentioned summer barbecue. Are you like recurating things for every holiday? Is that kind of okay?
Yes. And we're doing we'll do our Christmas photo shoot. It feels like next month. Like it's just crazy how it works. But we do a new holiday launch and those are our biggest launches and our most popular launches, and they're fun. There's so much work though, but to decorate a whole entire house for Christmas and then
take it all
the
down,
next day take it all down and put it back together is crazy.
Yeah. Then when Christmas comes, I'm like, oh, do I really want to decorate my house?
We've already did it so many times. Yeah. But it's so fun, and we do love. Honestly, our first online shop was a Christmas shop, and we just really love the holidays and decorating for the holidays. So it felt very natural.
It's kind of a holiday is a special time where you can kind of like go over the top when you normally wouldn't in your regular home decor. But since it's like short term, it's more acceptable and more fun.
Yeah. Also, I think it's a great time to think about heirloom items. Like your kids remember the things you brought out during the holidays. And so you want to bring in things that they get excited about and that they're going to want to have one day for their families.
Also, that's the time that you host the most is around holidays and people are coming to your home. And so I think that those things you want to feel special when they, come to your space.
Yeah. What's the number one seller right now?
Well, it's the dusty plum stem. Yeah. It's like crazy. We can't keep it in stock.
We have like a faux lilac stem that looks very real, but it lays really pretty in a vase and we can't keep them in stock.
Yeah. Faux stems are really hard because they can look really fake and this one looks really good.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. The dusty plum stem. That's what I need to go. Are they in stock right now?
I don't know.
I know. I haven't
probably not, but you can get on the back in stock notification. I know we have some on order if they're not. We always do.
That's amazing. I love it. So we talked about how because you're both co-founders and you started this together when you were young moms, you've been the principal designers, you've been the curators, the HR department, the buyers. Can you tell me about work-life balance? How do you do it all?
Well, we don't do it all. I don't know. We do what we do.
With a lot of help.
Yeah.
I mean, in the beginning, we couldn't do it without, maybe not the very beginning, but once we started getting pretty busy and we were working full time, we couldn't do it without nannies, childcare. We had to have that. So I think every step of life along the way comes with a different challenge, and we've kind of just learned how to adjust and just accept that some things are going to fall through the cracks, you know, like you can't do everything perfectly. And sometimes priorities are going to look different one day than they do the next. And so I think maybe being flexible and knowing and accepting help.
Yeah, just like you're not going to be perfect. We were at a market once that I remember. I'm sure you don't remember this, but I got a text message from the soccer coach and she said, "Do you have the snack?" And I was like, I totally forgot. But like stuff like that happens a lot, you know?
Yeah.
I am just one of those people that always has notifications on my phone of unread texts. Like I'm just constantly feel like I'm playing catch up. But it for me, it's okay. Like I'm okay to live that way. And you just have to be okay that like, yeah, not everything going to be perfect.
Yeah. And I don't know I can't live with all the bubbles.
Like, we're different, but
yeah, no, there are no bubbles on my phone.
Yeah, I have so many, but
so we're very different in that way. But I think that we've, learned in our own ways how it works for us individually and what we need to do. I mean, it's not always perfect, but what we need to do to keep our priorities in line.
And we have very understanding spouses and children. I mean, our kids have pretty much always known this life where we're like, I'm off to work and that's okay, But I think getting the employees here, we're so grateful because it's given us the opportunity to go on school field trips and to be a part of our kids' lives when we need to be. But like also we're still at the end of the day in charge and we have to make sure we're doing the big things for the business too.
Yeah. So what does a typical day look like? I mean, I imagine in the beginning you were just working whenever
very
you
different
could,
now.
Right?
Yeah. It's a lot of meetings, honestly.
It is.
Our job is not fun stuff, to be honest. It is just like one meeting after another, into the next meeting, into the next meeting.
Yeah, I'm always excited. We have like weekly reviews with our design teams about all the projects. And those are my favorite times because we get to have the creativity and we get to see all the pretty things, and that's like
touch the fabrics.
Yeah, it's like okay, this is why we started this business. This is why I own this business because I love this so much. It's so fulfilling. But there's a lot of things that are not fun as well.
Yeah. We're just doing, networking meetings with employees, meetings with each other. I just feel like it's a lot of that. Product meetings. But anytime that the creativity gets to be sprinkled in, that's when we get excited and like we get, it like lights us up. But I don't know, if I were to do like a day in the life, it would just be me at my computer. It would be super boring just in another meeting. But every now and then, we get to go to, because our designers are doing really a lot of the design. So they're at the site visits. They're the ones who are doing, the showroom visits.
They're in main contact with the clients.
Yes. So they're doing all the really pretty fun things.
I love it. I want to just ask you some questions, like this or that questions.
Okay.
And maybe before we hop into those, you had mentioned like flooring, how it's such a big piece. You mentioned stone, wood. Like, are we doing laminate? Are we doing hardwood? Like, what is the flooring that people are doing now?
I mean, it also depends on the client,
Sure.
That's my famous answer. But I mean, what their lifestyle is like. Do they have animals? Do they have children? There's lots of questions I would ask first.
Yeah.
And also, do they have preferences? But no, I actually feel like the industry has come a really long way with good products that
synthetic options.
Synthetic options that, LVP, we've used those in multiple projects and they look really good. And if the client is okay with that, then we're fine to do that.
Yeah, I think we will always try to push the real wood or an engineered option, which gives you like a little bit of real wood because it does look better. I think overall there are things about it. So anytime you're getting like a synthetic, it's a printed picture. So you're getting repeats in pattern. You're not getting the same texture, but you're getting a lot of peace of mind because you can really bang up those floors and it's totally fine. I have LVP and I love it. Erin has both in her house. She has some LVP and some engineered as well. And there's just like pros and cons, honestly.
Yeah. I mean, my favorite word is patina. And I just feel like, yes, there is wear and tear with natural products, but the patina makes it even better.
You have to be okay with knowing that there's going to be some of that.
With it. Yeah. So,
but that might make it feel more homey too in the end.
For sure. Yeah.
I love that. Okay, we're going to do some this or that questions.
Okay.
Summer or winter design?
Oh. Is that a thing?
Okay, I'm trying to envision a summer design. I would say probably winter. Like we are, in general, we like a little bit of more subdued.
Do you
colors.
mean like, I have so many questions.
Like a beach house
your job.
or a mountain
like
cottage.
you mean summer, winter, like
I'm
we're
thinking
designing
colors.
in the summer, winter.
I'm thinking like color palettes. So like a summer would be like brighter.
Oh,
maybe.
okay.
Or like a winter would be, I'm just
Okay.
making it up, but I think winter.
Mine would be winter.
Yeah, I think we're both like winters.
more cozy,
Yeah.
more casual.
But I'm definitely more like of a spring. Because I like a little more color and
Yeah.
happiness. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. Winter and spring. We'll take that.
Okay.
If you're traveling, domestic or international?
International.
100%.
I feel like, we already got that answer.
There's
earlier.
some amazing places. We just did a trip
There
back
are.
east and we were like, this is almost as good as France. Like
It's
parts of it were
true.
really good. So
And one of my most favorite cities is, Charleston in South Carolina. So there are really good places to visit in the U.S., but I think
we'll
it's
never
just,
turn down a European vacation though.
Right,
Yeah.
right.
Yeah, there's just that. I mean, our country is very young.
Just the history
is.
of it.
Yes.
Yes, for sure.
right? Yeah. We live in Utah, so I'm just going to assume you both drink soda.
Okay.
Are you getting like full on flavored things, or are you just classic? What's your drink of choice, Erin?
I mean, I've been through stages.
Sure.
Right now, I'm on a Diet Coke and vanilla protein shake kick.
Okay. I love that.
Like
Are
a
you
Diet
mixing them
Coke
together?
float.
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I love that. That's
It was
awesome.
like a TikTok trend that she just jumped all over.
I was like, okay, I'll try that. And
Well,
now
if
I'm
you can have your
addicted.
Diet Coke with your protein.
Right?
We talked about
Win-win.
proteins. Yeah.
put a little creatine in there. I don't drink a lot of soda, but I do love the grape Olipop. It's my favorite. If I had to get something, it's really good.
Okay. This or that, traditional or modern? Not both. You can't say transitional.
Okay. I know what you're going to say.
Yeah.
Traditional.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm going to say?
I think you're gonna say traditional. Too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I don't think either of us like gravitate towards modern, but
I
you
like-
more
I-
than me.
Yeah,
for sure.
I definitely like modern touches or modern silhouettes of furniture more than Kirsten. But
Okay. Are we going minimalism or maximalism?
I'm on the Max train right now.
Are you?
Yeah.
Okay.
More is better.
Okay.
In my
yeah. Me
mind.
too. I mean, it depends on what.
It's just like more layers.
Yeah.
You can never have.
too much beautiful art.
Yeah.
Vintage or brand new?
Vintage.
Totally.
Yeah.
That was easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Beach house or a lake cabin? Kirsten gets to go first this time.
I would do a beach house, but I wouldn't do like a, I would do like an East Coast, maybe like Nantucket beach house. I don't think I would do like I don't want like all the blue and white stripes, but
Okay.
I do want some history storied kind of beach house.
Okay.
I think I'm more of the lake house cabin.
Okay. What goes into that? What are you envisioning?
I don't know.
that
I
your
just see
lake
more.
house cabin?
I just see more like texture and warm colors. Beach house is very cool. I don't know.
Yeah, my beach house would be warm too. You'll be invited and you'll see.
You'll have a lake house beach house.
Yeah. I just want all the water.
Good. Well, I'll come. That'll
Yeah.
be great. Industrial or boho?
Ooh, neither. Sorry.
Yeah, I
Not
don't
for
know.
us. Yeah. I don't know. I can't.
Neither.
Is that
Yeah.
a client you say no to? If they're like,
I
we want
know.
all the industrial stuff.
I mean, I don't mind a good industrial, but there's going to be some mixes of other styles in there.
Yeah.
But boho, no, thank you.
Yeah, boho was a trend when we did it, and now I think we're kind of like
Yeah.
done.
Just
Okay.
personally, I think I'm kind of like, I'm over that.
Okay, last one.
Okay.
I feel like I already know the answers to this.
Okay.
But neutrals or bold colors?
I mean, I'm neutral 100%.
Yeah, I don't know about bold colors. I like color, but I like it sprinkled. I don't want to just be enveloped. I actually even have a hard time. There's a trend right now that's like color drenching,
Yes.
where like everything in the room is a color, and even that to me feels like a big.
I'm okay
step.
with that if it's
If
a neutral,
which
color.
doesn't count. She didn't say that, but you're still neutral.
Yeah.
But I like, to me, to have a whole room of color feels like too intense for me. Like I need enough neutrals to break that up, but I do like, I wouldn't mind having like a really beautiful colored chair that had a fun pattern on it.
I love it. That's awesome. Well, ladies, we have loved having you today. What parting thoughts do you have for anyone listening in regarding, hey, do this to make your house feel more like a home? or this is what you've got to buy right now that's out there?
I would say, and I think Erin will agree, just be open to taking risks. I think don't be scared. I think that is where we feel like we have the best success, is when people are open-minded and just do things that not all your neighbors are doing. And I think that's what gets us excited.
Yeah, I love that.
Yeah. What are any other thoughts?
I mean, we kind of talked a lot about this, but I would just say, be intentional. Don't just buy whatever you think is cute, at every store you go to. Like, when you're looking at something for your home, think about, where is this going to go in my home? How am I going to display this? How am I going to use this? And I think that's, that will help you decide, should I put this, should I buy it? Should I not?
Yeah.
Yeah. Just more.
And that you're going to like for a long time.
Yeah.
Not just in the moment.
Yeah. Just purchasing items with more intention.
I love that. Kirsten and Erin, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks for having us.
It's been so great.
Yeah, we love working with you. And thanks to all of you for joining as well. And we will see you on the next episode of Guiding You Forward.